Lesson 3.8, Unit Multiplication and Division. In focus. Each stand can hold 3 birds. So each of these can only hold 3 of these birds. At least how many stands are needed? So how many of these stands do we need to hold all of these birds if each stand can only hold 3 birds? Don't forget your perfect presentation. 1 number per box. What we're doing here is putting the birds in groups of 3 to see how many stands we would need. So if I had 3 birds here, let's pretend these are the birds. There's 1 group of 3. Here are the other 3 birds. So we've just shared our 6 birds into 2 groups of 3. So that means we would need 2 stands. What we're doing here is we're sharing the birds out equally onto each of the stands in groups of 3. Another word for doing that is dividing. So we say we have divided 6 birds by 3. And when we do that, we have 2 groups of 3 birds. So remember that dividing, this symbol here, is the same as sharing equally. So sharing this number into equal groups of this. Divide 6 by 3 to find the number of stands needed. 6 by 3 is 2. And because we have 2 groups of 3, that's also the same as 2 multiplied by 3, which is equal to 6. So multiplication is the opposite of division. We can also put 6 birds into 3 equal groups. We would still be sharing the birds out equally. So let's pretend here are my 3 groups. Now I'm going to share the 6 birds into each of these groups equally. Let's pretend these dots are birds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I've shared each of the birds into 3 groups. The answer is the number of birds in each group, which is 2. So 6 divided by 3 equals 2. That's the 2 ways that you could figure that out. If you couldn't divide in your head, you could draw out something like this to help you. Guided practice. Use counters and cups to help you. If you do not have counters, you could use some small objects that you have at home that are around the same size, like Lego. Put 120 counters into 3 equal groups. There are counters in each group. So here you're dividing 120 by 3. So you're putting 120 into 3 equal groups and seeing how many counters are in each group. Another way of doing that is to create 3 groups and share 120 counters out equally into those 3 groups and see how many counters are in each group. Question 3. Write the missing numbers 18 divided by 3. Let's do that one together. So I'm going to create 3 groups. and I'm going to share the number 18 out equally into these three groups. And I'm going to see how many dots are in each group, because that will be my answer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I've just shared out 18 dots into three equal groups. Now let's check how many dots are in each group. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So the answer here is 6. Independent task. Circle the items in groups of 3 and write down the division equations. Let's do the first one together. Here's one group of 3 donuts. Here's 2 groups, 3 groups, 4 groups, and 5 groups. In each group there are 3 donuts. There are 15 donuts altogether, so that means I'm dividing 15 by 3. And my answer is 5, because there are 5 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Look at question 3. Write the missing number. Something by 3 equals 6. Here you have 2 groups of 3 soldiers, so that means 2 by 3 equals 6. And remember, multiplication is the opposite to division. So 6 divided by 3 equals 2. Because if we shared these 6 soldiers into 3 equal groups, we would have 2 soldiers in each group. Here are the answers for you to self-assess when you're finished.